The Sunday school lesson for July 27th, 2025 is Be Doers of the Word. James chapter 1, verses 19 through 27. This is an audio reading of the lesson. The speech of the saved, James chapter 1, verses 19 through 21. Redemptive conversation, James chapter 1, verse 19. The word wherefore directs us to verse 18, that the Father begot us to be first fruits. When he begot us, he made us his children. The Father sends good things down, including Jesus, whom he sent to rescue us from sin and death. The triple command regarding listening, speaking, and being slow to anger is general wisdom for all people, but was fitting for the trials and temptations James's original readers faced. They were believing Jews outside the land of Israel who faced serious trials. Many of his readers also were poor. Beyond the conflicts that James had in mind, there are always conflicts driven by anger, jealousy, and even desires. Being swift to hear is wise. One of the deepest desires of the human heart is to be heard. Destructive anger, James chapter 1 verse 20. What about anger makes it harm more than help? Angry people assume the right to judge others and to cause hurt, but this right is God's alone. In contrast, the righteousness of God welcomes, listens, and heals. Since we have received the word of truth, we should seek the righteousness of God and not the wrath of man. Engrafted commandments, James chapter 1 verse 21. James wrote to people who were spiritual first fruits. Like them, we who believe in Jesus have had the word implanted in us. We should have a gentleness that comes from our security in being saved. As we believe in God's salvation, we should conduct our conversation to help others and not to harm. The word filthiness is often associated with sexual sin, yet it may be that James simply regarded angry and selfish conversation as filthy. The law keeping of the blessed, James chapter 1, verses 22 through 25. Purposeful application, James chapter 1, verse 22. The word of truth in verse 18 and the engraft word in verse 21 probably refers to the gospel. Many of James's teachings can also be found in Jesus' teaching, and chapter 1, verse 22 is a clear example. Jesus knew the tendencies people have to take the easy parts of faith and ignore the difficult task of reforming their lives. Hypocritical affirmation, James chapter 1, verses 23 through 24. A person looks in a mirror to see how they look. This parable illustrates a person looking into God's word, comparing them to his own actions, seeing the inconsistency there, and yet walking away unchanged. God's word is like a mirror, showing how we fall short, as well as what we should be, the perfect image of God. Blessed law keeping, James chapter 1, verse 25. James taught that there is a law of liberty. He indicated that those who keep the teachings of the word with action would be blessed. The two greatest commandments that Jesus cited are from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 5, and Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. To interpret the Old Testament laws rightly, it was necessary to remember that they always reflect these as the highest priority. The scriptures often speak of rewards both in this life and in the life to come. In chapter 3, verse 18, he explained that those who live righteously have peace in their hearts. The religion of the undefiled. James chapter 1, verses 26 through 27. Vain religion. James chapter 1, verse 26. One of the secrets of hypocrisy is keeping the easy acts of piety, such as attending worship regularly, while being lazy toward the harder calling of ethical action. Although some trees look good from far away, if their fruit is examined, they are found to be bad. James pointed to a means of gauging our spiritual health, the way we use words. Many aspects of a person can be controlled rather easily. The tongue, however, is difficult, for our words often reveal our emotions and attitudes. Pure religion, James chapter 1, verse 27. James taught what true godliness looks like. Jesus showed care for widows and children as reflected in the Gospels. Likewise, the law of Moses emphasized justice and charity for widows and the fatherless. Jesus said the highest form of service is to those who cannot repay. James, through this letter, was teaching Jewish disciples outside the land of Israel a way of life. His teachings are just as valid and needed today. We should be unspotted from the world. God rewards this way of living. Thank you for listening.